In this episode, I will show you 7 smart techniques that help your brain start thinking in English naturally. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English Unleashed. Many learners say this: I understand English, but I cannot think in English. This, my friends, is very common. When you speak, your brain first creates the idea in your native language. Then your brain translates the idea into English. This translation step is slow, it takes time, and it makes speaking difficult. But fluent speakers do something different. They build the thought directly in English. So today I will teach you how to do this. These techniques are simple, but they are powerful. They train your brain to connect ideas directly to English words. Let's begin. All right. The first technique is called image thinking. Image thinking means thinking with pictures in your mind. Yes, with pictures in your minds. Many English learners do something different. When they hear an English word, their brain quickly searches for the translation in their own language. For example, imagine you hear the word apple. When fluent speakers hear the word apple, they do not see a translation in their mind. Instead, they see a picture. This is something you can do with practice. So you imagine a fruit. Maybe you see a red apple. Maybe you imagine a round shape. Maybe you imagine biting the apple and tasting something sweet and fresh. In other words, the word apple connects directly to the image and meaning. There is no translation in the middle. This is very important for thinking in English. Your brain should connect English words directly to ideas and pictures, not to translations. Let me show you a simple example. Imagine you hear the word rain. Do not translate the word. Instead, imagine a scene. You are outside. The sky is gray. Water is falling from the clouds. You hear the sound of drops hitting the ground. That is rain. Now your brain understands the word through the image, not through translation. So here is a simple exercise you can try. When you learn a new English word, do not write the translation first. Instead, do 3 things. First, imagine the object or the situation. Second, describe the picture in simple English. For example, an apple is a fruit. It is sweet. Third, repeat the word while imagining the picture. Each time you say the word, see the image again in your mind. Slowly, your brain begins to build a direct connection. So, at the beginning, it might be a little bit difficult, but with practice, it will get easier. All right, now we move on to the second technique. This is called the situation simulation technique. Simulation means imagining a real situation in your mind. You create a small scene in your imagination. It is like making a small movie inside your head. In this movie, you imagine a place, you imagine people, and you imagine what you would say in that situation. This is very useful in learning English. Many learners study grammar rules, they study tenses, they study vocabulary lists. That is not bad, but sometimes their brain only knows English as information. It does not know English as real communication. Situation simulation helps change this. Your brain begins to practice English inside real life situations. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine you walk into a cafe. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the scene. You open the door and walk inside. You can smell fresh coffee in the air. You hear the sound of cups and plates. You hear people talking quietly. Maybe you hear soft music in the background. You walk to the counter. There is a person standing behind the counter. Now ask yourself a simple question in English. What would I say? Maybe you say, "Hi, can I get a coffee?" Or maybe you say, "Hello, could I have a latte, please?" So you're not translating from your language. You are thinking directly inside the situation. Your brain is practicing real communication. This is the key idea. Your brain learns that English is not only grammar in a book. English is something we use to do things in real life. We use English to order food. We use English to ask for help. We use English to talk to people. So, when you imagine these situations, your brain becomes more comfortable using English. So, choose one simple situation. Maybe a shop, maybe talking to a friend, maybe a cafe. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the place, imagine the people, and ask yourself one simple question. What would I say in English? This small exercise can slowly train your brain to think in English more naturally. Again, at the beginning, it might be a little bit difficult, but with practice, it will definitely get easier. All right, the third technique is very simple. It is called micro description. Micro means very small, and description means explaining something. So, micro description means very small descriptions, very small explanations. During the day, choose random objects and describe them in English. For example, imagine you are holding your phone. You might think, "This is my phone. It is black. I use it every day." Or imagine you are looking at a cup. This cup is white. It has coffee inside. The coffee smells strong. These are small thoughts, but they train your brain. Your brain learns that English is not only for studying, English is for observing the world. It is for seeing the world. You begin describing your life in English, and slowly your mind becomes comfortable thinking in English. All right. The fourth method is called the emotion label technique. Label means naming something. So, emotion labeling means naming your feelings in English. During the day, you often feel something. Maybe you feel tired. Maybe you feel excited. Maybe you feel nervous. Instead of thinking the emotion in your own language, label it in English. For example, I feel tired today. I feel a little nervous. I'm excited about this idea. This may seem small, but emotions are very strong mental signals. They are everywhere. When you connect emotions with English words, your brain begins to use English more naturally. It begins to feel English. Your thoughts become emotional and real. And language becomes part of your inner voice. All right, technique number 5. Question loops. A loop means something that repeats again and again. In this method, you ask yourself simple questions in English. What am I doing now? Then you answer. I'm listening to a podcast. Then ask another question. Why am I listening to this? Maybe you answer, I want to improve my English. Then another question. How can this help me? And you answer, I can learn new words. So you create a chain of small questions and answers. Your brain stays active in English. Instead of translating sentences, you are thinking continuously in English. This question loop creates a natural thinking flow. And now we move on to technique number 6, chunk thinking. In previous episodes, I have talked about the chunking method. This is very similar to that, but it's extremely powerful. A chunk is a group of words that often appear together. For example, at the moment, to be honest, I think that, the good thing is that. Fluent speakers do not build sentences word by word. They use chunks. Chunks are like ready-made pieces of language. So when you think in English, try to use chunks. For example, instead of thinking slowly and saying, I believe that this is good, use a chunk. I think this is good. That's a chunk. I think this is good. Or, to be honest, I like this. Chunks make thinking faster. Your brain does not build sentences from zero. Your brain does not need translation. It uses familiar patterns. All right, now we move on to the final technique. This is called the inner movie. Your brain naturally creates stories. All day long, your brain imagines small scenes. So use this ability. Create a small movie in your mind. Imagine a story. Maybe a person walks into a shop. Maybe someone misses a train. Maybe two friends meet after many years. Now describe the story in simple English. For example, a man is walking into a store. He looks confused. He cannot find what he wants. You're not translating, you are narrating the movie inside your mind. This technique is powerful because stories activate many parts of your brain: memory, emotion, and imagination. And when English enters these systems, thinking becomes natural. Okay, so today we explored 7 smart ways to think in English. We talked about the image thinking method, situation simulation, micro descriptions, emotion labeling, question loops, and chunk thinking. Also, we talked about the inner movie technique. Each of these methods train your brain in a different way, but they all do one important thing. They remove the translation step. They help your brain connect ideas directly to English. And when that happens, something amazing begins. English stops feeling like a school subject. It starts feeling like a natural way to think. And that, my friend, is the moment when fluency begins. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of English Unleashed. If you enjoyed this episode, try one of these techniques today. You don't need 1 hour. Even 5 minutes of thinking in English can slowly change your brain. And remember, fluency is not magic. Fluency is daily practice with the right ideas. Until next time, keep practicing, keep thinking in English, and keep believing in yourself. Bye for now.